Hey, hi. Okay, welcome, Jackie. Welcome to these 100 interviews project. And I think I've lost count already. I think you're my seventh one. Um,
Cool.
and it's been going very good so far. And I'm sure today's interview is going to be one more special one. So I have worked with you in the past in the sense I have, we've had coaching sessions and I've had massages from you, but I haven't really heard your
Yep.
story, right? So that's what we're gonna delve into today. So without any further ado, I'm gonna hand it over to you to hear from yourself. What is it that you do and
Okay.
makes you so passionate?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie. I am a remedial massage therapist. I've been massaging for about 4 years, and I actually specialise in pregnancy massage, so treating high and low risk clients with all their complaints through pregnancy.
Yep.
I actually have children of my own as well. Two are little. There's a 5-year-old and an 18-month-old, and then I've got 2 grown-up children as well, which is a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
And lots of fun.
Yeah.
And I am extremely passionate about my work. I love it. Before I got into studying massage, I was actually working in retail, and I love working with people, but I didn't really click with the values of the company that I was working with. So when I was having my 5-year-old, I decided to go on a different journey and decided to do massage, thinking if I hate it, I can, delve into something that's similar, that's still within sort of the health field and helping people, because that's really what I wanted to do. And yeah, I just fell in love with massage. It was just wonderful. Absolutely love it. And I'm very passionate about helping people, very, very passionate about being able to facilitate change in people's lives and really get them back onto looking after themselves properly. Yeah, that's the nutshell of it, I guess.
Yes. And of course, like there's so many other things you do which you haven't mentioned. I don't even know if I can articulate them well, but I know you are into Reiki and there's a couple more things, but I can't remember the names of them. So
yeah, I do a little bit of Reiki as well. Not a lot at the moment because I've been focusing on some other things, one of which is essential oils. Essential oils are becoming very, very popular at the moment, and I'm actually less than 12 months away from completing my diploma. I put it on hold for a little while I had the baby, so I'm less than 12 months away from completing that diploma, and it's really stirring up a lot of interesting things because essential oils are just absolutely fascinating, and there's so much you can learn, and I love to study, I love to learn.
Yeah.
So I'm really taking all of that on board, getting back into study in a couple of weeks. And I've been doing some training with a couple of people about teaching them about essential oils. And I'm also developing, I'm not sure what form it's actually going to take at the moment, but it'll probably be some kind of online course for people to learn more about essential oils, because lots of people are using them, but they just don't understand different aspects, different ways to use them correctly. So, yeah, I'm so excited about that because I just love doing that sort of thing. Yeah.
So, one thing that I've always noticed in you, or this is my perception of you, that you're really, you're really great at implementing. So, as much as you're passionate about learning, you actually take the information and start running with it. So what's the mindset behind that, which actually helps you, bridge the gap between information and action? Because most people can't do that easily.
Oh gosh, wow. Probably going back years ago, I realized that, you know, even when I was a small child, I realised that nothing was ever going to be handed to me. You know, I didn't come from a rich background. I came from a reasonably impoverished background, you know, lower middle class Australia. And I just always, I'm very curious by nature, and I've always loved to read, love to learn new things, love to discover people's stories. And I think this is one reason why I love massage so much, because over time you discover people's stories, and the body tells a story as well, which a lot of people don't realise, but it does. It tells a lot about the person. But I've always wanted to, as I grew into being an adult, I always wanted to make my life a little bit better and make myself a little bit better. So always learning, always trying to implement new things. And I guess it comes from the fact of that, you know, I spent many years working really hard, you know, going to a decent school, trying to get as good grades as possible, studying really hard, and working as well at the same time, and trying to get out of that cycle of being poor that a lot of people grew up with in the 70s and the 80s, you know, not having a lot of money. And it just sort of fell over into business. I'm just a highly motivated person that, you know, I don't want to sit around and wait for something fantastic to happen. I'm the kind of person that wants to get out there and make it happen.
Wow.
And I have so many wonderful ideas of things that I would love to do and love to be able to implement. But the biggest thing probably that stops me from doing it all is time. I just don't have the time because I work for myself. You know, I'm everything in my business, so it just makes it harder.
Yeah, but you know, yes, and I think all small businesses go through this one phase when they realize that they're more than used up, and they need to get a pair of extra hands. So I think you're getting there.
Trying.
Yeah, so you know, the cool thing that I picked up from, you know, what you just said was nothing was ever going to be handed over to me, and I think this applies to everyone, right? Like nothing's. I think we can confidently tell this to the world. We can share this with the world that nothing's going to be handed over to you. You might get lucky a couple of times, but then it will stop. So you've got to keep putting your efforts in.
Absolutely. It's really interesting because you can't just work really hard and, you know, and get somewhere. I think mindset has so much to do with it, being not just being happy and being optimistic, but really you know, really working on yourself and what you believe. Because if you believe you're never going to get anywhere, if you're never going to have anything, then you won't.
No,
so
I love it.
Think about it's so important as well. And I am generally quite a happy person and quite optimistic, but there's always stuff from your childhood, from your past, that sort of gives you a kick at the backside and says, oh, you think you're going to get that? That's what you have to work on. You have to really just believe that that you can do it, and that's something that I've worked on my whole life.
Wow, well done. You know, I think just to you know, crisply compress it into you know, like a powerful formula, I heard Caleb Maddox. Do you know the young guy, the 14-year-old entrepreneur?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, yeah. So I'll text you his name, Caleb Maddox. He's a 15-year-old young boy. He's written several books for kids, and he's an entrepreneur, speaker, author. You know, he does sales trainings. And he had mentioned in one of his podcasts that you've got to couple the law of attraction with the law of action. So a lot of
Yes.
people, exactly as you say, a lot of people think that I'm going to keep working hard like crazy and I'm going to get the results.
Yeah.
But deep inside, if you don't believe you're worth it or you're never going to get it, you're not going to get it. While some people
Absolutely.
spend all their lives meditating on what they want, wishing and wanting and hoping and praying, but no action.
Yeah.
So we've got to get a good balance of both of them.
Absolutely. Everything in what is it? Everything in I can't even remember the word now.
In the universe.
Moderation. That's the word.
Okay.
Everything in moderation.
Okay. Yeah, everything in moderation.
You have to do a little bit of everything. Yeah. You can't just work hard and wonder why the money isn't coming in or why you're not successful. Absolutely. You have to love what you do as well, and that's so important. Yeah. I really think it comes down to belief in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that not only that I deserve to be happy and I deserve to be successful and whatever those words might be, but I deserve everything. You're totally worthy.
Yeah.
So it comes down to belief.
Yeah. And there's really technically there's can you hear some? No, it's all good. There's really no difference between a you and a me and Marie Folio. So she began where you and I are, at different stages in time, and she feels like an easy success. I've heard people say that her husband positioned her and he set her up for business, but he couldn't set her up for business if she didn't have the tenacity to sustain the game stay in the game and sustain it.
Exactly.
So, she could be put on the top, but she would collapse if she wasn't solid. So
exactly, it would last 5 minutes.
Bring her in,
if she didn't have that.
Yeah.
You gonna say hi? Say hi.
Hi, Ronnie.
More milk.
Right. All right, cool. So, Jackie, I'm going to ask you a real solid question now. Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share with us one of your deepest, darkest, lowest moments in life and how that helped you bounce back? Like, what did you resort to for bringing out the resilience in you?
Oh gosh, there's been lots. There's been absolutely lots.
I have an idea.
Probably it's not really one moment, but a series of moments. When I was, I'm divorced now, but when I was married before, this is like, I don't know, 15 years or so ago, I was very unhappy in my marriage and very depressed a lot of the time. Yeah, and I used to spend so much time just crying and feeling so alone and so lost and needing purpose. I didn't really, I had my babies, I was looking after my children and they're only like 5, 6 years old. But for myself, I had no purpose. And I really, looking back now, I can see that really dark period of time that I was in was instrumental to me being such a strong person now. I'm really finding my own identity and my own purpose and my own self-esteem now, and it's a massive journey, a massive learning journey. Yeah, it set me up to be such a strong person that I know I can go through anything. I can go through absolutely anything and survive.
Yeah. You know what? The picture that's coming in front of my eyes right now is like the roots of a tree. because, you know,
Yeah.
roots go deep. They're down, you know, they're under the ground in a dark place.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, maybe you were just spreading your roots. You were really forming your
Yeah.
foundation, which,
Yeah.
and I know, like, you have gone on to make so much cool stuff happen in your life. So, of course, after that marriage ended, I don't know, like, you know, the details of how you spend most of your time, but then, you know, now I know you are with a beautiful, loving man, and you've got two,
Yeah.
you know, two really beautiful children.
Yeah.
You've gone on to build a business, and
Yeah.
you are, you know, I think you've got some connection with yourself, right? You're so
Absolutely.
passionate about,
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so I'm still looking for, like, you know, you've definitely bounced forward from that moment. But what do you remember? What was the tipping point? When did you realize that I cannot continue to spend the rest of my life sulking? And, you know, what shifted from depression to action?
Well, it's been a very long process. I'll be completely honest. It's taken me probably the best part of the last 15 years to really find myself. But the tipping point at some point in my marriage before we split up was I realized that I just did not want to live my life this way anymore. So I started working on myself, reading and working on myself, and tried to find out what made other people happy, what made them tick, and what would help me to stop feeling this way. Because, you know, I thought it was all me. But it was me for a big part of it. But then, you know, it's always a little bit the people around you. It's who you surround yourself with as well. So I just started working on myself, and it's just been a massive, massive journey for me to really find myself. I don't know that there was one particular incident or day that I just said, that's it, I've had enough. But it was, I guess, accumulation of lots of little events. And every day, like, I liken it to when you fall off a horse. You know, you've got to get back up and get back on the horse and start riding again. And that's kind of my whole life. I would be riding along, I'd get thrown off the horse, and then I'd get back up. It might take me a day, it might take me an hour, it might take me a week to be able to get back up on the horse, but I would do it. I'd be like, I'm not going to spend my life hiding under the doona in the dark. So I'm getting back up on the horse. And that's probably like the philosophy that I live my whole life.
And you know, you just said something which actually stood apart for me, was, you know, thinking it wasn't me. So it wasn't me has a resourceful and unresourceful side of it. But if we look at the resourceful side of it, you know, we can really dump the it wasn't me. Like, no, sorry, we can actually adopt it wasn't me whenever we are criticizing ourselves, right? Anything that happens is because of me. Which doesn't help us at all, right? So he, you know, it could he cheated me, he cheated on me. He doesn't respect me, it was me. But really, it doesn't mean they're two different stories. They don't equate. I mean, you know, whatever. Not that that was your story, but just giving you random examples. So
it's a double-edged sword, really. I completely agree with you, though. It is a double-edged sword, because it is you, but it's also, there's lots of factors. It's how we're trained as we're growing up to react to things. And this is what people in our generation are learning to overcome now. We're learning to overcome our training as children, and it's the way society expects us to be, and we're really taking all of that on board.
Yeah.
So, and that's basically what I did. I just said, you know what? I'm not going to be upset that this thing has happened to me. You know, okay, I might be upset for like a minute or a day or however long, but I'm going to use that to change how I feel about myself, because I'm an amazing, resilient woman. Like, I'm unbelievably resilient.
Yeah. I have an idea.
Not to sound like I'm bragging.
No, but I think we must, right? We must brag about things. I mean, seriously, bragging is underrated, like, you know, seriously, it's such a positive thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. We're conditioned to talk about the negative and to dumb ourselves down and to not shine too brightly.
Yeah.
And at some point in our lives, we either accept that as a fact for us forever, or we go, that's not true. Hang on a minute. And I'm changing that story. So, yeah.
I love it. I'm changing that story. I have a very strong connection with that statement, you know, like when I was pregnant and I was like doing all these lethargy dramas, which was fake, you know. I didn't want to do work in my business because I was like, no, I'm pregnant, so I can have an afternoon nap every day. And then something happened. I was like, no, I'm changing my story, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think, you know, like the bragging element is the icing on our cake, or, you know, it's like the highlight of this interview. We need to brag enough number of times, you know, at least once a day. And we need to, you know, like I mentioned to you the other day, the book of positive evidences. We must call it the book of bragging.
Yep.
So
I think so long as it comes from a genuine place of love and self-respect, then it's very, very beneficial, because other people will see, oh, hang on, she really looks after herself. She loves herself in a genuine, authentic way.
Yeah.
And then it gives everyone else permission to do that.
Yeah, it's not actually coming from a place of making the other person feel like you're not enough and I'm super cool, but it's like you know, I love myself and I'm celebrating myself. Why don't you do the same?
Exactly.
Yeah, this is so good. Ultimate.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think, you know, like we've really got some cool nuggets out of you. I've been taking notes and I'm just looking at that. So, you know, also just wanted to add that element, you know, when you were talking about the double-edged sword, about it wasn't me. So yes, we need to tell ourselves that it wasn't me, which, you know, like I was not always the problem, or if something wrong has happened, it has not happened because of me. I have this very cool distinction from my mentor the other day. We ask ourselves the wrong question. What's wrong with me? So we ask what's wrong with me rather than what did I do wrongly?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's a doing problem rather than a being problem. Like, I'm not wrong. Maybe one of my actions was just not right.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. That is absolutely perfect. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, and then having said that, we still need to take responsibility. So, you know, I'm saying that I'm not wrong, but I've done something wrong, so I'm gonna rectify that. So
yes. So it's not disempowering. It's actually becoming empowering.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Wow. Wow. All right. So Jackie, you know, as we wrap up and as we come to the end of this interview, I'm wondering if you've got, you know, say one or even, you know, a bonus one more. If you've got like one or two tips to share with the people who are watching this interview and most likely this will go up on your business page and people will connect
It
with
will.
you. So what do you want to tell your people?
What do I want to tell? So many things, but probably the biggest thing, besides absolutely believing in yourself that you are amazing, is to value yourself and love yourself and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever that means for you, and it might mean getting a massage, which
Yes.
hopefully it does. But it might mean
yeah.
everyone needs a massage. But it might mean just, you know, getting back to the nuts and bolts of really taking care of yourself, however that time out means for you, whether it just means going for a walk or, you know, doing meditation or reading some fantastic books, you know, whatever it means, but to really value yourself, because every single person has value. And that's what I'm discovering, that people don't value themselves more than anything. So it's time to put that value back into each individual life.
Yeah. And I think I will take that liberty to really give people this distinction about what self-pampering and, you know, self-nourishment and taking care of yourself means. So sometimes you think that there's this thing called retail therapy which works for you, but really, guys, I have personally experienced it, and I have gone through a major change in my mindset, wherein I now value, you know, taking like value employing the services of, you know, people like you, or going to a parlor and getting myself waxed instead of just shaving off myself, right? Like, you know, So it's this kind of pampering, it actually leaves a very long lasting impression on your soul. It might not be visible. Your clothes are visible. You can see what you're getting for, you know, a $60 or $100. But everyone who watches this interview must go for a massage. Does not necessarily mean Jackie, but yes, if she's accessible, do that. Yeah.
I think honestly, okay, Baba. I think honestly, you used the correct word there before with nourishment. It is really about self-nourishment, because yes, you do need things like clothes and shoes and what have you, and it's wonderful to look fantastic and to spend money buying good quality stuff. But if exactly. If you look great on the outside, but you're miserable on the inside, that's not beneficial to anyone.
Yeah.
So I think you absolutely use the correct words with self-nourishment.
All right. I think Miss Rory really needs you now, and we've got a good done out of you. So we will let you go. But thank you so much for coming on this interview, and I can't wait.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to see the response when the interview goes live on your business page and mine. I'm going to share it with you ASAP. So you can just start putting
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Silva.
Bye.